This is Mr. Mark, and this is a lesson on Excel formulas. Now, in order to work with Excel formulas, you must first understand the Excel operators. On the left, we have the four basic operations that are used in mathematics. The plus sign is used to add. The minus sign is used to subtract. However, to multiply, we use a star, which is an asterisk, and then to divide, we use a slash. These symbols are used in Excel and are also used in many other computer applications and programming languages to represent these mathematical operations. You should also be familiar with the equal sign and parentheses, because these are also used in Excel formulas. Thirdly, I have the caret mark, which you can get by pressing Shift, holding down Shift, and pressing 6 on your keyboard, the number 6. And this is used to represent exponents. In other words, if I want to say 2 to the third power, I will use the symbol to create that expression. Lastly, I have the percent sign, which is used to represent a percentage. Now, to actually type a formula, okay, I'll click in this cell at the bottom, and let's say I wanted to create a simple formula in this cell. The first thing you have to do is start with an equal sign. So all formulas start with an equal sign. And let's say I wanted to do a very simple operation, such as addition. Equal 1, for instance, plus 2. Press enter, and that will give me 3. Or if I type equal 2 plus 4 and press enter, that gives me 6. Okay, I'm going to highlight these and delete them. Or subtraction, equal 10 minus 5. Okay, that will give you 5. Let's try multiplication, equal 5 star 4. That gives you 20. And I'll even try division, 10 slash 2. And that gives you 5. So Excel formulas can be used to perform simple calculations or even more complex calculations on exact numbers. You can also combine operations together. For instance, I'm going to highlight these and delete them again. Equal 1 plus 2 times 3, which gives you 7. Now, if you remember your order of operations, okay, now I'm going to double click. When you double click on a cell, that allows you to see the formula in that cell. And if you remember or know your order of operations, you know that multiplication happens before addition. So as you can see, Excel knows the order of operations and multiplies the 2 times 3, which gives you 6, and then adds it to the 1, which gives us an answer of 7. Now, if we do not want to follow order of operations, then we have to use parentheses. For instance, equal 1 plus 2, let's put that in parentheses instead. Times 3. So equal 1 plus 2 in parentheses times 3. Gives me an answer of 9. Using the parentheses to separate this expression from the other. So as you can see, parentheses in Excel can be used in the same way that they're used in regular mathematics. Let's try using the exponent symbol, the caret mark. For instance, 2 shift 6, which is the caret mark, 2 to the power of 3, right? And sorry, but it's a formula, so we have to start with the equal sign first. So equal, you always have to start with equal, 2 caret mark 3, which is the equivalent of 2 times 2 times 2. Therefore, the answer is 8. And how about the percent sign? Well, let's say equal 10% times 100. So this should give me 10% of 100, which is 10. So as you can see, we can use the percent sign to perform mathematics, or to perform calculations rather, that use the percent sign. Now that you have a basic understanding of the operators and how they can be used on numbers, what I would like to do now is to actually take a look at how Excel formulas are normally used in a real situation. So now what I will do is add a new sheet, and on this sheet I'm going to set up something very quickly. Let's say I had a product. Okay, I'm going to zoom this up a bit. A certain price, and let's say I buy a certain quantity of these products. And then lastly, I would like to develop or determine the cost. I'm going to highlight these and bold them. So let's say our product is a smartphone. If my product is a smartphone and the price is, let's say, $300, I'll type 300. I'll use the $ format, the accounting format, to place a $ in front of it. And let's say I buy 3 of these smartphones. Now, in this last cell, I would like to calculate the cost. Now, the real power of formulas is not using it to do calculations on exact numbers. Although I used exact numbers on the first sheet, that was just for the purpose of showing you how the operators work. Normally, when we work with formulas, we perform a calculation on cells. So in this case, I will use the equal sign as usual, right? A formula always starts with the equal sign. But rather than entering a number into the formula, I will click on an actual cell. The price, for instance, is in cell B2. So I can either type or I can click on B2. I personally prefer to click, and by clicking on the cell, it places B2 in the formula. I will now click the star and then click C2. So this formula equals the contents of B2 times the contents of C2. In other words, whatever is in B2 will be multiplied by whatever is in C2. And once I press enter, I get $900. $300 is the price. The quantity is 3, so the cost is $900. Now, what if I change the quantity? The whole power that comes from electronic spreadsheets is that it instantaneously updates. So if I change the quantity to 5, okay, this number changes. Now, when you see this, it just means that there is not enough space in the cell for the number. So I will just double click, okay, place the mouse pointer between D and E, double click, so I can see this number. And as you can see, it's $1,500. If I change it to 4, it's now $1,200. If I change it to 1, it's $300. If I change it to 0, you get zip. All right, if I buy 0 of something, then there is no cost. If I buy 2, it's $600. Then if I am creating a table or a list of items, for example, let's say I'm buying a mobile hotspot. Okay, I'm going to double click to make that bigger. And let's say the mobile hotspot is $200. And let's say I buy 4 of them. Right, I can re-enter a formula in the same manner I did before, but actually this isn't necessary. All I need to do is click on the cell which contains the formula equal B2 star C2, place the mouse pointer in the lower right hand corner of the cell. This is a very important distinction. Okay, this mouse pointer is used to highlight the cell, but this one, if you notice that little square in the corner, we call that a fill handle. This is used to copy. You click, you drag the mouse, and that will copy the formula down. As you can see, if you double click, the formula here is equal B3 star C3. Just as a reminder, the first formula was equal B2 star C2. So as you can see, when the formula is copied down, the 2's automatically become 3's. And if you were to copy this formula down another row, you'll see that the 3's become 4's. So the formula automatically maintains the same relationship of multiplying whatever's in B, column B, times whatever's in column C. Well, this was a basic lesson in how Excel formulas work. Of course, there are many different levels at which this could be used. This is just meant to give you the basics of how a formula is put together. And again, remember that you need to be familiar with your Excel operators, because by knowing the operators, you'll be able to do more of a variety of calculations. However, in my experience, most operations that you'll need to do, most calculations, will use your more basic operators. But there's some cases where you may need to use percent, or you might even need to use exponentiation, meaning raising a number to a certain power. But overall, this is how Excel formulas are created. If this video was helpful to you, please hit the like button, and also feel free to subscribe to my channel. And also feel free to leave a comment, and if you'd like a copy of this particular spreadsheet, I might be able to email that to you if you click a link in the description of this video and you leave your email on a page that will pop up once you click on that link. Then I will be able to capture your email and send you a copy of this template. Thanks for watching.